Hi creative friends, welcome back to my channel. Here we have a fun spread for a previous October daily. This will go in my 2024 October daily album. And when I say daily, I actually mean October occasionally. I usually don't document every single day. But this is a story about how I stayed home to hand out candy for the first time because my kids were old enough to go trick-or-treating on their own. So I thought that was a fun thing to document, and I took a selfie of myself and a bowl of our candy, and I wanted to put that in my album. So you might recognize this collection that I'm using. It is an older crepe paper collection, Hey Pumpkin. It is an oldie but goodie, a classic in the Halloween world of scrapbooking. I have a bunch of it left over because I kind of hoarded it when I first got it because it was so awesome. And now that it's older and new things are coming out, I'm like, I really want to use this up. So I'm using this collection for this double page spread. Now, the inspiration for this spread is a sketch from the Simple Scrapper community. I'm on their design team, and they are a paid membership program. And one of the things that they include are sketches. I can't even count how many sketches they have in their library. But every 2 months, when the Spark magazine comes out, there are several new sketches that are released. And I can't show you the sketch that I'm using because it's part of the paid membership, but I will talk about how I adapted the 12 by 12 sketch to make these two 6 by 8 pages. You are welcome to copy my two 6 by 8s and kind of make it your own sketch if you like. One of the main elements on the 12 by 12 sketch were tags that were tucked behind the photo. And that's the main element that I continued from the sketch to my page. Now, I have 2 pages, they're smaller, but I also put 2 photos, one on each side, obviously. And I ended up using that tag element and repeating it on both sides of my spread. This original sketch had one set of tags behind the main photo, and I'm kind of duplicating it. Now, what's a little bit different in my spread is on the left side, the tags will be popping up from the top of the page, but then on the right side, I switched the sketch and I'll have the tags coming out from the right side. And that's a way to keep the kind of main element, but also to make it a little bit different and a little bit interesting to look at. Now, you'll see that I'm kind of cutting out some tag shapes. Because these are being tucked behind photos, I don't actually need a full-size tag. This is a perfect way to use scrap pieces of paper and to also use papers that coordinate with my pictures or my background paper the best. This is a navy blue background, which I really love. You know, usually Halloween we think of orange and black, and I really love this navy blue with the polka dots. It's just a little bit different. And so some of the tags that came with the collection were darker in color and they didn't pop off that navy blue. So I'm just making my own, and that works out great. So now I am adding kind of a title and a subtitle. Oh, let me tell you what I was just showing you there first. That is my color bin of embellishments. It's an acrylic bin. I believe I got it at TJ Maxx in the bathroom section. I think it's supposed to hold makeup or something. But it has several drawers, and so whenever I have extra labels or extra embellishments that I'm not keeping with the collection, I will break them up and put them in my color drawers. And so then in this particular spread, I needed a very small tag label, something of that sort, to do my journaling on. And so I went to my color bin and I found an orange label that I put over on the right. And that's just going to be a perfect place for like my 2 sentences of journaling. I don't have a lot to say, but I just wanted something. And I needed like a kind of a white background so my journaling would stand out. So now going back to the titles that I was talking about. I'm using the Candy Lover acrylic title piece from Colorcast Design. This is an older piece, at least a couple years old, but I absolutely wanted to use it on this spread because just the title went with the theme really well. Now you can see it's kind of a bright teal, which is not a traditional Halloween color. But as a way to have it blend with my page, I purposely use that darker teal paper to make some tags. I've got a tag at the top and a tag to the right. Obviously, it's not the same teal color, but I think it is similar enough. One's toned down, one's brighter. It's not matchy-matchy, but I think it works well enough. And so I'm going to use that as my title. And then over on the right, I have a I Love Candy kind of as a subtitle. That's a wood acrylic piece from Allie Edwards and one of her older Halloween collections. So as you've probably noticed from a lot of the things that I'm saying, I'm using a lot of elements from my stash. I buy a lot of fall and Halloween stuff because I love it so much, but I also need to use up some of the stuff that I have. So this is definitely a page where I'm using a lot of mixing and matching of different companies and products, and that can be very fun. So now I am just adhering everything down. We're kind of getting near the end of this whole project. Just moving my pictures and my tags around. I think it was up a little too high, I think is what the issue was. And so I pulled it off and moved it down a little bit. I'm just using a tape runner on the back of this acrylic piece. That has worked pretty well for me. Sometimes I might use liquid adhesive, but the tape runner actually works pretty well, and I've had them stick down long term so far without any problems. You'll also notice I put some hole reinforcers on my tags. Initially wasn't going to do that, but I felt like I wanted a little bit more fun, a little bit more color, and I purposely did coordinating colors. Sometimes, depending on the look of the layout, I'll do tone on tone for the hole reinforcers, but this time I definitely wanted to bring more color and eye-catching appeal, so I did a contrasting color. So let's see, what do we do next? Again, I think we're just going to adhere down the I Love Candy and the label, and I will do my journaling. And I just am going to mention, I'm just going to document what I mentioned to you guys earlier about staying home for the first time. And I think I'll probably be doing that again this year too, because my kids are old enough. So definitely a change in life events, so to speak. So the final thing that we are going to do on this spread is add some puffy stickers. I feel like this is almost the funnest part of the whole layout. I love puffy stickers. These are from Heidi Swap, and I am picking out every candy color, any candy icon I can, and putting them on the spread. And then there's also some Hey Pumpkin trick-or-treaters, and this was a perfect place to use those up. If you have any questions or comments about this spread and how it came together, please leave them in the comments below. I'll leave a link to the Simple Scrapper community if you want to check them out. I believe they're having a free event coming up in November, the planning party, so that might be a fun time to check them out and see what you think. Again, leave me a comment if you have any questions, and I hope you get some time to be crafty this week, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.